Good morning, and welcome to the Wichita State University Weekly Briefing. I'm Tracy Freese, Director of Communication for Industry and Research Programs. These briefings are held in an effort to keep the campus and the public better informed about the progress occurring at Wichita State. Following today's update and featured topic, there will be a time for questions. Wichita State University's Business Continuity Pandemic Team is meeting and communicating continuously with state and local healthcare agencies to assure that the university is prepared if COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus disease 2019, reaches Kansas. Student Health Services is coordinating with Sedgwick County and the Kansas Department of Health and Environment for the latest information on the situation. In the meantime, the best resource for the latest information and tips is the Centers for Disease Control website at cdc.gov. In addition, Student Health Services is updating its website with information relevant to the campus community at wichita.edu/studenthealth. In support of their shared goals, Wichita State University and Wichita Public Schools have expanded a partnership to create a stronger system of support for African American and Hispanic students who want to pursue post-secondary education. The expansion to the Better Academics and Social Excellence, or BASE program, will focus on BASE members as they continue into high school. Participants will become affiliate members of the Wichita State University community. Each member will receive a membership card that provides access to campus resources and amenities, including university libraries, Heskett Center, the Shocker Store, and Shocker Sports Grill and Lanes. BASE members will receive mentorship from college students who are in a similar program for college men at Wichita State, hosted by the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. They will also have opportunities to participate in university-sponsored youth camps for free or discounted rates and engage in several academic and career-building experiences. The partnership started in 2018 between Wichita State and Wichita Public Schools. BASE was created by William Polite, Executive Director of Diversity and Equity for Wichita Public Schools, and kicked off with nearly 500 7th and 8th grade scholars with a 3.25 GPA or better, no office referrals, and strong attendance. The program aims to create a positive peer group of males of color and encourage scholastic achievement. Wichita State University was recently awarded 18 projects and continuations from the Federal Aviation Administration, totaling $8.2 million. The funding was awarded through the FAA's Center of Excellence for Composites and Advanced Materials, or CCAM, which is headquartered at Wichita State's National Institute for Aviation Research. The contracts will fund 9 new projects and provide additional funding for 9 continuing projects. These research programs cover multiple aspects of composite and advanced material testing, design, certification, qualification, and repair, including methods for ceramic matrix composites, polymer-based additive manufacturing, and thermoplastics. These materials and technologies are crucial to the advancement of the nation's aviation, manufacturing, and defense programs. Wichita State would like to recognize Senator Jerry Moran and his staff for their role in raising awareness of Wichita State's capabilities and expertise, and their continued support of university research programs and initiatives. University President Jay Golden visited the Greater Dallas area with Bobby Gandu, Associate Vice President for Strategic Enrollment Management, to meet with school district officials, high school principals and counselors, community college leaders, alumni, and major area employers. Golden also attended Wichita State's men's basketball victory over Southern Methodist University. Wichita State's admission efforts in Texas meet its goal to be innovative in recruiting and retaining talent from outside of Kansas. Dallas, with the largest concentration of potential new students, is an initial focus of Golden's efforts. Our Strategic Enrollment Management Plan, which calls on all Shockers to help grow enrollment, provides the roadmap for enrollment success. Last week, a group of visiting university representatives came to Wichita State for the Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities Innovation and Economic Prosperity Conference. Wichita State students Diane Tinker-Hurst, Austin Nordyke, and Sierra Bond helped plan and execute this conference, which focused its discussions on what is higher education's role in IEP, innovation, economic development, and prosperity. The conference was an opportunity for participating universities going through the process of earning the IEP designation to learn from each other. There were 34 representatives of these universities and interested individuals who came to campus from across the country to take part in the conference. Selected universities in attendance have demonstrated a meaningful, ongoing, and substantial commitment to economic and communication development. The IEP Universities program helps institutions advance their economic engagement, which encompasses ways universities work with public-private partners. Representatives of schools such as MIT, Michigan State University, Kansas State University, the University of Tennessee, the University of Utah, and Oklahoma State University attended. The weekly briefing series will end on Thursday, March 19, and will not return after spring break. The weekly briefings began in the fall of 2018 in an effort to keep the campus and public better informed about the progress occurring at Wichita State. The university will continue to keep the campus and public informed through different forms of communication. On the first Tuesday of each month, the First Tuesday newsletter will be distributed to Wichita State faculty, staff, and students. Also published on the first Tuesdays will be the President's Connection with a target audience of alumni and community. If you are not an alumnus and want to subscribe, email president@wichita.edu. The Wichita State Research Newsletter will publish every other month beginning March 12. To subscribe to the Research Newsletter, email research@wichita.edu. President Golden is also active on social media. Follow Dr. Golden on Twitter and Facebook with @PresidentWSU. Follow Wichita State University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And now I'd like to introduce our featured speaker, Jennifer Pasick, Director of the Center for Organizational Development and Collaboration. Jennifer leads the Center for Organizational and Development and Collaboration, which serves nonprofit organizations, government entities, and community coalitions. The center has worked with hundreds of local and state organizations, helping them make progress on setting goals, creating actionable plans, and developing their programs or boards.
Thank you for having me here today. It's an honor to be able to share a little bit about what the Center for Organizational Development and Collaboration does and how our work helps support the mission and vision of WSU and the overall university strategic plan. So I've been part of the Community Engagement Institute, which is where the center is housed, for a little over 3 years now. And they have actually been working with partners in the community and serving the community since 1984. They actually started, the Community Engagement Institute started as the Self-Help Network, and then which connected groups and organizations and community partners to self-help support groups. They've thus grown tremendously, and now the Community Engagement Institute is actually the second largest institute at WSU, so second to NIAR. So we have 6 centers and 4 initiatives at the Community Engagement Institute, and I get the pleasure of being the director of one of those centers, where our work spans a variety of topics, cross disciplines. So we actually get the benefit of working with a lot of students who come to have practicum experiences and part-time work with us that supports many of the different disciplines here that WSU has in programs. We also get to work with many community partners, hundreds actually of contracts and grants from state agencies to support their capacity building, to nonprofits who need some board development, strategic planning. We work with businesses. We also work with coalitions and actually help facilitate just some difficult conversations sometimes. We work with many different kinds of organizations that serve many different populations, and that provides an opportunity for us to actually utilize some of the experience and expertise we gain from partnering with different departments, with practicum students and student associates, to help them apply that out to the work that they do all the time. one of the best things that I've been able to be a part of is also help supporting the university and their strategic planning efforts, being able to help facilitate some of those discussions around the overall university plan, but also to be able to help align some key departments, key schools, and different kind of practices to align to the university and their strategic plan. So that's been exciting as well. We've grown as a center over the last 3 years from around $400,000 as an operating annual budget to just under $2 million today. We've grown in staff quite a bit as well, as you can imagine, and so we've grown from 3 full-time staff to 9 full-time staff, and 15 of those student associates and practicum and interns. We work with students primarily. The biggest interest is coming out of the Masters of Public Administration program, Masters of Social Work, but also public health, communications, and business. So we are very dedicated to keeping to help engage the community. We do stakeholder engagement with all sorts of different groups, and we really thrive in the opportunity to be that objective facilitator in those moments, so that people can have open, honest, transparent conversations in a safer, brave space where we can be the facilitator and move that work forward. That's all I have to update today. Is there any questions? No? Thank you for having me again.
And are there any questions on any of the other topics we covered today? If there are no questions, I'd like to close by reminding you of the vision and mission of Wichita State University. Our vision is to be internationally recognized as the model for applied learning and research, and our mission is to be an essential educational, cultural, and economic driver for Kansas and the greater public good. Our next briefing will be at 10 a.m. on Thursday, March 12th at the Radigan Student Center. You stay classy, Shockers.